we really need to figure out a way for constructive feedback, like making that a cultural practice within the TEC. And I talked to Manu about this for a little bit, because I think comms especially needs it in terms of just saying, hey, we need to really embed a method of constructive criticism, if you will, into our meetings and or processes, to where we can say, hey, this piece of work was good, but, it could be improved. And I just, I think it's been absent, and I'm not sure exactly what we can do about that.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I'm just doing this now. Finishing it. I'm thinking this could start putting light into certain things. I finished writing the questions based on the call we had, the statements based on last week's meeting, and then today I just wanted to go over them and see if we're good to start. Can we do that now?
Yeah, that sounds great. These are all from the poll list. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, these are I want to check if there's no duplicates too, but yeah, so we separated into this sections. I think they're a little more complete now. So the TC needs a partnership template. TC needs a partnership template so relationships are formalized and expectations are clear. Token engineers aren't very integrated in the TC community. The TC has the potential to become the selling point for the token engineering field. I feel like I belong to this community. I am a token engineer. I feel intellectually stimulated by the TC. I feel welcome and seen in this community. I believe we are on the right path to achieve TC's mission. I feel aligned with the TC's mission, vision, and values. I would engage more in the TC if information was more concise with clear calls for action. I feel overwhelmed by TC's content. I like the community calls for, this is wrong, right? How would you write this? I like the community call
Format. Yeah.
Without that S, right?
Yeah. Without the S.
Like this? I like the
Yep.
community.
Oh, so these are all the prompts that we're giving people as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with this prompt, you're going to be able to say agree, don't agree, or unsure.
Okay.
The community call is a great place to learn about what is happening in the TC. I am interested in reading about TC's updates. The TC communication is appealing to academics and researchers. So this is the type of thing that I feel like could give some type of constructive feedback to comms, for example, or like how can we add more of stuff like this that, like, I believe the TC is not appealing to academics and researchers, and I think that is important. So I feel like this statement would bring some type of reflection about it.
Yeah,
and I wish by looking at this poll that people could think of their own statements that they want to, add. Thinking like that.
I think that statement is really interesting just because the fact that, I agree with you that I don't think it is as appealing to academics and researchers, but understanding who it is attractive to is something that I think is really important to understand. And so I'm not sure exactly how we find that information, because my hunch is that people who are interested in DAOs are very interested in the TEC in terms of operations and understanding how to operate a DAO or work within a DAO. But yeah.
Yeah, I think the point is that if the token engineering community doesn't find this interesting, if the stakeholders of the TEC, who we hope are going to be the people answering to this survey, if they don't find it interesting, we don't really need to understand who are we speaking to. We just need to understand that we need to change the way we're speaking because we're not reaching the people we need to.
Yeah. The narrative just needs to be different in comms. Who is Ivy completely disconnected from comms right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just acid laser basically.
Yeah,
And
I
Manu.
think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Chewy. He just like left completely.
Yeah, it sounds like Manu said he was traveling with a band or something like that. I don't know. Working
Nice.
or something. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the rewards working group is successfully managing our reward system. I trust Gravity working group for conflict resolution. Transparency working group is important for the achievement of the TC mission. Comms working group is successful in communicating about the TC. Omega working group is important for the achievement of our mission. Sample working group is important. Community stewards is important. Softgov is important. Comunitas is important. Is Comunitas twice? Here twice? No. Information is accessible and I have agency to participate in the TC. It was easy to navigate the TC when I joined the community. We need someone with technical token engineering skills to be a community steward. As a stakeholder, I feel represented by TC community stewards. The TC doesn't need community stewards. I know what the TC is planning for the next 6 months. The TC should have a better accountability mechanism for approved proposals. Praise can be seen as a positive accountability mechanism. Transparency audits are a great accountability resource to TC stakeholders. It's comfortable to work in a bounty-based way. I wish more work was rewarded through bounties. This is duplicate, right? This already came up. Gravity. I trust gravity.
I think that was around the mission, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
duplicate. I am satisfied with the tone and narrative the TC uses in social media. The TC makes me feel valued for my contribution to the token engineering space. Volunteer work feels exploitative. I prioritize financial rewards over alternative rewards like learning and having meaningful experiences. Stewards' compensation should be paid by the common pool. There is a fair amount of work being unrewarded or unnoticed by the systems in place. I want my token engineering work to be supported by the TC, but I don't know how to request what I need. The purpose and utility of the TC token are clear to me. Proposals funded by conviction voting so far are aligned with our mission, vision, and values. The TC extracts more value than it provides. I'm aware of the initiative Sample Working Group is promoting to generate income for the TC. We should stop funding any proposals until we have sources of sustainable income. The TC should continue funding TE public goods while we work on a revenue model. As a stakeholder, I feel represented by the TC community stewards. I am a token engineer. The praise system is important for the TC. Praise system fails in rewarding token engineering community. I feel like some of these are duplicate too.
Yeah, is the token engineer one duplicate?
This one?
I am a token engineer, yeah. Did we read that up top?
Yeah. Any other you think?
I'm not sure. After that one, I couldn't.
I'm waiting for the token thaw to end to sell my tokens. I know how to create a sustainable model for a public goods focused economy. The TEC has made significant contributions to the field of token engineering. I believe the TEC is going to be successful in funding token engineering public goods. Do you think they're okay to publish?
Yeah, I do. I think this would be really good sentiment analysis type of thing, and really understanding where our weaknesses. I think I already know some of the poll results are going to be in terms of information sharing and stuff like that, but it'll be interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that was all I had for today.
No, it's really good. I like it. What are you thinking of distribution in terms of, like, do you want to get it out as soon as possible, or seems like a pretty dead
Yeah.
week this week?
Yeah, I think that would be good. I know there's a lot of people traveling and stuff, but I feel like we could still reach out to people individually.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Hey there, Alt MBR.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, thank you. We're having a chill call today. We're just revising this sentiment analysis polis that we're creating to distribute to TC stakeholders. So we were just looking at the questions, revising them to see if it feels good to send it out.
Very cool. I just hopped into the Discord. I was looking for some inspiration on some tokenomics stuff I was thinking about. Discovered you guys, and yeah, is it okay if I listen in for a little bit?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't know how long more we're staying because we just finished taking a look at this, but it's great that you're interested in tokenomics, and I think this is actually part of why we're doing the sentiment analysis, because the 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 token engineering community, I feel like there is a challenge with how much services the token engineering community is ready to provide. Feels like there is a huge demand and a very little supply, and there's this bridge now between like how can we increase the supply, and the supply can only be increased through education, which is something slow and costly. And the Token Engineering Academy has been working a lot on the education aspect. So I would suggest actually that might be a good place for you to find inspiration for tokenomics in the Token Engineering Academy server.
Okay, that's a different server. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can send you a link for it too, if you haven't already joined it.
Yeah, I haven't. If you send me the link, that's appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, and the mission of the TEC is mostly to fund and proliferate public goods for the token engineering space. So we're in this moment now of understanding how to create a sustainable revenue model for the TEC so we can continue supporting token engineering projects. And yeah.
Cool. Yeah,
So-
makes sense. I could see why it's I guess the thing about tokenomics is that it's probably like different communities think about it at like a discrete point in time. And it's probably like a burst. And then they like stop thinking about it for like a year and then they think about it again. It's probably hard. So the capturing the attention at the right moments is the challenge, I suspect.
I feel like part of the challenge is filtering a lot of the, it's like understanding how to guide people that have the need to the right places where they would find what they need. And it's all so nascent and experimental that like what models have worked, what are the crypto economies that are doing great right now, like who can gauge that. So a lot of this, like, I think there's expertise needed for this types of questions to be answered, and then experts that could do that are extra busy working on this high demand that is there.
Yeah, it makes sense. Can I actually, while I'm here with you, can I ask you those roughly those same questions and give you the context quickly as to what I'm thinking about? Just to, if there's like one or two articles I should look at or one or two protocols I should study.
Yeah, there's this guy's tokenomics DAO. They've been doing that. Let me. Tokenomics.
I also sent you a server invite, but you have to add me as a friend, so hope you're okay with that.
Yeah. Okay, nice. I just did.
Yeah, they have this really cool library of tokenomics.
Oh, cool. Tokenomics DAO. I'll check this out. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I
put here in the chat the link.
That's awesome. Thanks. Yeah, for context, I run DAO Exchange. We're evolving, but we're seed funded by Multicoin and a number of other folks. And one of the things that I'm interested in doing is setting up kind of like a token curated registry of talent, specifically catered towards developing nations, or ascending nations, where you can get folks to filter out the top contributors. Basically, you can get the community to self-curate, as that's the hardest problem in hiring internationally. And I was trying to find out the best examples to look at. Like there's I guess the right race by Mirror. I know the DApp list has been doing some interesting stuff there.
And this is to curate the human capital in DAOs?
Human talent, and not necessarily for DAOs. In fact, I imagine customers of this protocol not being Web3 people necessarily, but I imagine that the supply, so the talent, is part of their protocol. And there's like a couple roles. There's the talent itself, and then there's the kind of like the hunters or the curators that are escalating the highest signal talent to the top and getting compensated commensurate with like their credibility of like the signal of their vote, so to speak.
Gotcha.
Sample working group here on TEC is experimenting with a token curated registry of just of like how could we curate information for the DAO. If it at first is not going to be token, it's not going to use a token to curate, but the ambition is that comes after, and that becomes a utility for the token. And it's a partnership with DAOstack. DAOstack has actually been creating interesting curation mechanisms. They also have the holographic consensus that I don't know what's the state of it now, but EU should be an interesting curation tool.
Very cool. All right, I'll check those out. Where do I look in this Discord server for the TCR initiative?
Yeah, if you message sample, if you send a message on sample working group,
Channel,
you see it's a little down the list after Softgov.
Sample, got it. The diamond.
Yeah, the diamond.
Okay.
And we had, that's kind of a big initiative that Gideon, the steward for that working group, is really working really hard on with DAOstack, and I think it's really worthy of looking into.
Cool.
And I guess another one would be deep work is another interesting in terms of making sure that you're categorizing individual contributions in their knowledge areas and kind of saying, okay, these are the people that know most about this particular subject niche area, and how do we kind of rank them in a way that gears them towards having greater voter weight towards those types of decisions. And so if you're interested in that type of work, deep work is a really good one. I think it's called deep work. It's a deep skills.
It's like deepwork.studio, right? It's the design agency.
That's exactly. Yeah.
Cool.
That's exactly right.
Awesome. Thanks for pointing me to these things. Super helpful.
Yeah. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, thank you for jumping in. And I'll actually have to go because I'm flying soon, so I need to prepare some stuff.
The traveler.
Yes. Yeah, thank you guys for coming, and I'll post this link, Nate, on Softgov. If you could maybe take a last look and add statements.
Yep.
Also, you alt. How would I call you? Alt?
Just Brian.
Brian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, nice meeting you. And if you're curious to answer this sentiment analysis poll that we're putting out, feel free. I don't know how much context you have in the TC, but you're welcome to do so.
Yeah, and if you do want to learn more, we will have onboarding sessions. I think this is kind of a busy couple of weeks for the TEC in terms of everybody's just taking time off these couple of weeks. And so, yeah, we'll be back at it in full force. So if you want to learn more about what we're doing here in the TEC, and also explore TE Academy as well.
Cool. Very cool. All right. Nice to connect. Speak soon.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Brian.
Bye.
Bye.